Welcome to Golf Channel Academy. I'm your host, Martin Hall. We're here at the Grand Cypress Club in Orlando, Florida, and I am delighted to be joined by Padraig Harrington, three-time major champion. That never gets old, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Six-time Ryder Cup player. That never gets old. This is your full swing special, and I think we're going back to school, aren't we?
Yeah, basically what would I say to a beginner, maybe what I would say to a junior starting off the game. And to help them remember, I always say, you got to get a grip on the word, at least the first three letters of the word school. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first letter S stands for swish. So essentially, the louder that swish, potentially the further the golf ball will go. So everybody who's starting off the game should spend as much time not hitting a golf ball, but getting the club to swish. The second letter C stands for chest. When you're hitting the golf ball, you keep your chest down. We never ever want to see somebody coming in to hit the golf ball and their chest popped up before they hit it. So you keep your chest down, not your head down. Another bad mistake is if you try and keep your head down, it actually tucks and gets in the way, which causes that pop up. So when an amateur or beginner is starting off, I'm always thinking, keep your chest down, probably to about 6-8 inches past the ball before you let it come up out of it. So swish the club, keep your chest down, that gives the strike. And the last thing, the H, is the only universal thing I could say to every golfer, and it will do them no harm, because there's everything you work on in this game you can overdo, but the last thing, the H, you can't overdo. Hold your finish. H stands for hold your finish. The better your finish, the better your consistency is going to be. So to get to this position, you have to do so many things right. So probably the most important thing in the golf swing is to be able to finish balance. Now, if you're an old codger, look, that's fine. Balancing here. You don't need to finish like, oh God, I'm old. You don't need to finish all the way around. You just need to be able to finish in a balanced position, posted up on the left-hand side. Now, unfortunately, I said you've got to get a grip on the first three letters of school. So swish, chest down, hold your finish, but you must get a grip on it. And in golf, your left-handed can vary. You'll see a lot of different pros with strong or weak grips. But all pros is the one consistent factor you will see in the tour. They put their right hand on top of the club, like so. Like you're shaking hands with the club. Now there's a reason for that. As you come into impact, your right arm is stretching. And there's a lot of force on it to keep the club face square, because it's further away from you than your left hand. If this is here, which you see a lot of amateurs do, they'll put their hand on here. This will help you hit the first, second and third shot well. But for the rest of your life, it's going to cause a world of pain, because it's going to want to flip and then you're going to have to protect it. But if you put it on top, like so, like you're shaking hands, yes, the first couple of shots aren't going to be as good, but eventually you're going to have to square that club up with your upper body. The right hand grip must stay on there, and it is the biggest common denominator between good golfers, professional golfers. Put your right hand on top. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Whereas this, every bit of instruction you'll ever see written in magazines, in books, every bit of TV coverage you see is all for the orthodox grip. If you've got a grip over here like this, you need your own personal PGA Pro, because you can't work with this. It may help the first shot go left, but after that, it's going to be terrible problems.
Well, you do know when you go to school, at the end of term, you have an examination, whether it's Ireland, England or America. So let's have a swing examination.
I actually like that idea, because for a beginner, they all want to play well the very first day of class. And they will make terrible sacrifices in the first day in order to get the golf ball going somewhat in the air and somewhat straight. Whereas if they thought of it like this is 3 months to the end of term, and they spent those 3 months starting off gaining speed, keeping the chest in it, and then eventually holding the finish. They might hit a few bad shots to start off with, because everybody does. But at the end of 3 months, they'll be far further down the road with a lot more consistency in their game than if they made those poor choices at the start.
Well, okay. Let's see some S.C.H.O.O.L from a three-time major champion.
So a nice swish going on.
That's fabulous to get us going.